Welcome back, Spurs fans, to the Scott Hepler Football Channel. If you haven't joined the channel before, please like the video, make comments in the comments down below on the video and your thoughts and what you have going through your head. This is supposed to be a conversation for us to engage and not necessarily see eye to eye. Hey, if you got a different thought, let's hear it. But today we're going to be talking about the Tottenham Burnley match coming up on the 28th. We're going through our predicted ponderings, where I'm going to predict what I think Jose's going to put out there on the field, and then also put a few thoughts or caveats in here or there myself. So with that being said, we'll get right into it. So first up, we're going to start with the goalkeeper, Lloris. We're going with Lloris. There is no other. We're just going with Lloris. So we'll keep it real quick and simple here. As far as left back, we got Reguilón back. He did not play in Europa, so I think Reguilón's going to be out there at the left back position. He was pretty good against West Ham last weekend, especially in that first half when he was in there or so. He was getting forward. Still probably needs some conditioning and whatnot, but definitely our best option at that outside left back position. So next we're going to go to our center backs. We're predicting that Jose's going to go with Dyer and Sanchez. Alderweireld played in the Europa match, the full match, and I think Toby's, he's not quite there physically to be playing multiple games in a week, and so I think he's going to bring Sanchez back in. I think this is a huge mistake. I don't care who you have in there, but Rodon needs to be one of the pairings and not Sanchez. As long as it's not Sanchez and Rodon's in there, I don't care if you have Toby or Dyer in there. Rodon gives us a better aerial presence than anyone on the team in the center back position at this point. As much as Sanchez is purported for his physical abilities, he's very soft and weak oftentimes, and he struggles in aerial duels, it seems like. So for me, I'd rather have Rodon in there. I know he's young, I know he's still learning, but if you put him beside an experienced Alderweireld or Dyer, which we all know Dyer's issues, put him beside someone experienced, I think that gives us our best center back pairing, especially going up against a Burnley team that is very strong in the air. And we've shown ability to give up a little aerial goals and concede things through the air. So it's definitely an issue that I think is going to rear its head if we don't have Rodon in there. And I'm not sure Jose's learned his lesson with Sanchez yet either. The continued errors. Not just errors, but errors that cost goals. And I've mentioned it numerous times in post-match ponderings and even through my player analysis that I've done. Sanchez makes numerous errors that don't end up costing the team just because the opposing team does not take advantage of it. So it's not even just the errors that lead to goals. He commits many more errors throughout a match than what actually costs us in giving up goals. So while I think he's going with Dyer and Sanchez, I don't think that's the right thing, but Jose's going to do what Jose does. So we're going to right back. Having Aurier back in the squad, I think he's going to put Aurier in there. He could throw Doherty in there because Doherty has a little more size, but I think Aurier is going to cause some issues for Burnley getting up the field a little faster and better. And if he can get in there and play a full 90, that'd be great. But maybe he throws Doherty in there because he knows Doherty can go a full 90 and Aurier can't. So why would you want to burn a sub on an outside back if you don't have to? So that could go either way, but I think he's going to go with Aurier since he's back in the squad and available. So with that being said, we're going to go into the two holding central midfield positions. Of course, we're going to have Højbjerg in there. He got complete rest this week. Didn't play a minute in Europa. Hopefully, his mental fatigue, because I think that's what he's been struggling with the past few weeks, giving up silly errors. He's given up errors that have led to goals. He's just not been himself, and he seemed a little fatigued physically and mentally. So hopefully this week of no competition is going to allow him to get himself back together and be ready for this match. Next, we're going with beside him in the pivot, Ndombele. I mean, Ndombele's been playing really well. He plays best in that pivot besides Højbjerg, so that's where we're going to put Ndombele. Next, we're going out to left wing. Left wing's going to be our man, Song. Again, didn't get any playing time, just like Højbjerg and Ndombele. Most of our frontline players did not see a minute of playing time in the Europa match, so Song should be fresh, ready to go. He too has been kind of looking like Højbjerg, mentally and physically kind of fatigued. So hopefully a week with him too, no competition, just can relax, just do some training, will allow him to be refreshed and ready to go for this match, because I think we're going to need our best Song and Kane. Of course, Kane, I'm going to stick Kane up front. Who else would I put up there? But we're going to need our two best players to be on their game to come away with the win. I've talked about it in my pre-match ponderings that Burnley's a very strong defensive side, and I think we're going to struggle to score goals. The previous match, we beat them 1-0, and it wasn't like we were just knocking down the door. So this can be a very difficult game for us to score goals. In the central midfield, I think he's going to go with Moura. I mean, you can make a case for Dele Alli. He's been talking Dele Alli up a bit in his press conferences. He said Dele Alli's getting closer to being, where he should be conditionally. I still think that he's probably not there, and he played a large portion of the match in the Europa match. And Lucas barely even played. So I think he's going to put more in there. This could also be Lamela. So there's a number of options here. But I think he's going to put more in there. He, for whatever reason, likes more in that middle. I've said it over and over. I don't think Moore is a central attacking midfielder. I don't think he fills the spot very well. If anything, I'd prefer, if you're not going to throw Dele, I still don't think Dele's ready either myself. I'd prefer to see Lamela in that central attacking midfielder position. I think he does a little more, and even though he misses a lot of opportunities and passes, I think he looks more than even Moura does for those opportunities and passes. So that's just my opinion. But I think he's going to start Moura, and then Dele's going to be an option off the bench. So going out to right wing, right midfield, or right forward, we're looking at Gareth Bale. I think he's seen enough from Gareth in the past 4 games or so. Enough quality. You see him putting in the effort. And I think maybe he realizes in that West Ham match it was a mistake to not have Bale start versus bringing him on at half. Because I think that stagnation of attack didn't allow us to put ourselves in a good position to win, and it only left us one half to try to do something. And then what do? We give up a goal within the first few minutes in the second half. So now we're down 2-0, and it's like, okay, Bell's in a virtually impossible situation to turn around again, just like he's been trying to do with him, is bring him on as a super sub in the last 10 or 15 minutes of a match and say, okay, we need 2 or 3 goals. Let's go. Let's get it. Well, I'd rather see us get out on the front foot, and I think he's kind of doing that with Bell, because he brought him on in the Europa match, but not a long time. He brought him on, I think, just to kind of say, okay, let's keep that conditioning going. Let's not just let you sit and lose some of your conditioning. Let's get you out there, let you get your legs moving, and let's just keep that conditioning moving forward instead of letting it regress by not having a competitive match in the midweek. So I think he's kind of wanting to put Bell in there, in my opinion, to start the match. And I think that's what he should do. I said it in the West Ham pre-match ponderings. He needs to start. It was our best opportunity to win. And he was showing the quality. He's been showing the quality and the things that we expect out of a Bell. And I get it. Some of it's been against Wolfsburger, a couple matches, but he came in and did well against Man City, and he did well against West Ham. And I know West Ham was kind of getting back into their match, their half a little bit by the time he came on, but you know, he still was showing good quality on the ball and some of his passes and just what he was doing. And so I think he's going to put Bell there. And then, of course, I already alluded to it, the man Kane is going to be up front. So I think this is where Jose's going to go. And really, I only have one or two issues with this. And my biggest issue is having Sanchez on the pitch at all. And the other one is, you know, in the central attacking midfielder. I mean, there's so many options right now, but who is really the best option? I don't know. I mean, I personally think Lamella, but that's me. So these are who I'm going to go with, who I think Jose's going with. Run through that again real quick. We got Lloris in goal, Reguilon on the outside left back, Dyer and Sanchez to pair in the middle on this defense, Aurier on the right. In the pivot, we got Højbjerg and Ndombele. Out on the left, we got Song. In the central attacking midfielder, we got Moura. And then Gareth Bale and Harry Kane. It's going to be up top, so Gareth's out on the right. These are the ones I think that he's going to go with. I personally think that this is going to be a tie. Burnley doesn't give up that many goals, and they don't score a lot of goals. So if we get to scoring, we've got this game. The problem is scoring, and we've shown a problem with being able to score. So even with this setup, even having Gareth Bale in there, who's been a catalyst for our offense lately, or at least, you know, making us look more like a tiger with some teeth, I still think we're going to end up 1-1. Burnley's played well the past 5 games. We've not played well. So I think this is going to be a 1-1 tie. And unfortunately, I think that's going to completely doom us for top 5 race and relegate us to throwing all our eggs in the Europa basket. So let me know what you all think. Let me know what you all think about the lineup and what you think the scoreline's going to be. And, you know, we'll see it out on Sunday, see how the match comes through. And like, subscribe, and make comments. Let's have a conversation. Come on, you Spurs.